Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is D, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Sun of Life. Life Lessons card, Major Arcana. We had this come up, I don't know, about 10, 11 days ago, and that was before you started another journey. You had a short journey and then another journey. So the Wanderers, dropped off, and now we've got the Sun of Life, and it follows 4 court cards and a couple cards let you know you need to recuperate and rest. So, when I see this card and it comes up, it tells me how much abundant energy that I really do have, and that the sun is also a healing, recuperative, restful planet, in our universe. People feel better when they're out there getting that vitamin D. People feel better when the sun is shining. People feel better when, it provides warmth in their life. All right. Now, this is also a card for Leo. And that's how I look at it. I'm a Leo. So, I really resonate with this card because to me, the sun is my universe. It's the center of everything that's out there. The lion's the king of the jungle as well. So, the sun, if it wasn't out there, it wouldn't be providing us that warmth and that light out there in our universe. And, there's many other suns, I'm sure, out there in the universe. And, one of the other aspects that I see about this card, too, is it's a spiritual card because it reminds me of the spirit that we have within us. All right. And that's that glow that's within him. All right. As he's standing there with his arms out, a little bit different than the Wanderer, taking that leap of faith. He's using his arms as, in my opinion, as an antenna, to capture as much of that energy as he can. So it can just, he can radiate that warmth and light to everybody else. Now, the next step of awareness into the universal mind is to realize the potential energy that you do have, whether that be for good or bad, for teaching others, for mentoring, things of that nature. If we can use that energy that we harness, like a solar panel, all right, and let it gather up into our batteries, we can go out there and teach others. Okay, we can go out there and be mentors to others. We can be that positive attitude, that positive spirit, even if it's just planting a seed. Okay, when we're able to take that next step of awareness and open ourselves up and have that radiant energy come in, then truly we can be at one with the universe and spirit because we're filled up with that warmth, we're filled up with that light, okay? And just like that 8 of Vessels, that rebirth card, okay, there's more water there than there needs to be, and it's filling all the cups up, and it's the same thing with the Sun of Life, all right? There is so much energy coming off of that sun, we can't harness it all, okay? So harness what you can and use it for positive good in your life. Use it for developing those relationships. Be positive about things and not let the negativity or the darkness, be there. Let that light just kind of wash all that negativity and darkness away. At the same time, when you're doing that brings joyfulness and enlightenment into your own soul, okay? Because you realize what good you can do. I've got all this abundant energy and, hey, let's go for a walk today. Let's bring somebody new on that walk. Get them out of the house, okay? When you do something like that and you become enlightened, others want to be enlightened as well, okay? And the more energy you bring in out of that sun, the more energy you bring in, for your universe and for your spirit, that helps cleanse you from the shadows and the doubts that are in your life. That allows you to, to kind of purge out that negativity, as I spoke about, all right, and bring more positive energy in. And I know since I've come down here to Florida, that's my new location here for a little bit, it's given me that, that opportunity to be more positive, all right, to see things from a different light because the sun is always shining down here. Yeah, there's been some clouds in the sky. Yeah, the temperature's nice and warm too, but where I was at back in Michigan, it was dark and gloomy, and it started that way, late October. And, and that gets to, run on your nerves a little bit. It starts to put you into a depression mode, and, it's kind of ho-hum, all right? Coming down here, your whole spirit changes because why? You're sucking in the energy. You're out there in the sun. Okay, you're feeling the warmth. It's bringing joyfulness and enlightenment into your life. Now during the summers, yeah, it's beautiful up there in Michigan. The sun's always shining, and it's a great time to be out on the beaches and biking and running and stuff like that. And it's just having that vitamin D work through you to bring some of that enrichment into your life, and that just allows you to have more positive attitude and more positive aspect in your day. So, and I'm not saying winter's bad, in the northern portion here of the United States, but when you're definitely in the sunlight, your mood changes. I noticed that when I was in Michigan. When it was a nice day out, even though it was 30 or 40 and the sun was out, I had a different attitude. All right, and that's because of the sunlight. So let that inner nuclear reactor, pulsate that's within you and shine for all to see. Because when others see you energetic and enlightened and joyful, they want a piece of that. All right, and that's all you have to do. Sometimes you have to sit there and just, smile at somebody, say hi, good morning, good afternoon. Hey, let's go for a walk, learn somebody new. Meet somebody new, and even just have a conversation with somebody that you don't even know. Give back some of that positive energy that you have. All right, and what happens is the more you give, the more you're going to receive. All right. And you go out there in that sun, you just open your arms out, and you just say, fill me up, spirit, give me what you got. This brings harmony and light to others. And people will see that light. People will see it and be drawn to and attracted to you. All right, so connect with the universe and be aware of, when you connect with the universe, you also become aware of how vast your soul is. All right, that yes, you can be the center of the universe, but guess what? You are so minuscule to this universe, you don't understand it. All right, there's so many other entities out there. All right, and if you can just do your little part, be that little positive energy to everybody else, it could have a web effect where it's affecting everybody. So, looking at the rest of the cards for the last 6 or 7 days, like I said, the Wanderer dropped off. So you've been, recuperating and rejuvenating with that 8 of Vessels, that rebirth, right? You've been drinking those waters, staying hydrated. If you're going to be in the sun, you got to stay hydrated. You've been resting, relaxing, maybe, gathering your thoughts on your next project, however you want to do it. All right, just kind of maybe, after that stressful journey of walking into the Wildwood Forest, it was time. It was time to just say, you know what? It's time to make camp. And sure enough, you made camp, and Knight of Arrows showed up and says, what do you need to stand up for as you're moving forward this time? Stand up for yourself. The King of Herons came in a little bit later and said, where do you need to be more tolerant with your emotions? All right. Maybe you need to be more tolerant on how much energy you're giving out. Think of it that way too. All right. This king is trying to tell you to be tolerant of your emotional energy. Don't give so much of it out. All right. Keep things to yourself a little bit, but don't let others see how ruffled the feathers are. That Knight of Bows, similar to the Knight of Arrows. He came down and, the fox sat down right next to you and said, hey, where do you need to slow down? Where do you need to be slower in your thinking, in your moving? You haven't moved out of that campsite. All right, you're there for the night. The Queen of Vessels came in and said, what's enchanting you? You've had 4 days where you're able to, maybe not 4 days, but let's say, 2 or 3, 4 hours, according to this, if you're sitting by a campfire. She's asking, what do you need to enchant? What's enchanting you? And maybe what was enchanting you is just, I just need a good day to replenish my batteries, to let that nuclear reactor work, all right, and fill my soul back up, to bring more of that vitamin D into me, so I can go back out there and be the best version of me that I can be. When I say me, I mean you, all right, as well. Be the best version of you that you can be, and maybe that's what that queen is saying. What do you need to devote yourself to? Devote yourself to yourself. You know, if you have to self-sacrifice something to move up there, you know, to listen to that queen, then do so. You know, just make sure you're checking all the details. And when I look at this, both the, you know, that knight's talking to that queen. All right, even though he's looking straight at you, he's talking to that queen. He says, you know what, you're right. I need to devote more time to myself. You need to devote more time to yourself. Let me check the details of what's missing. The King of Herons is, you know, who's depending on you for support? Maybe it's your coworkers. Maybe it's your family. You know, maybe it's a significant other. You know, maybe your parents are support, you know, want you to help support them. Maybe you need the energy to help with that. You know, that Knight of Arrows is saying to check your information. You know, have you checked all the information? Have you checked all those boxes, you know, on the details that you're missing? You know, and of course, even though you're resting, you can still gather in that sun. I'm not saying sit directly in the sun and become sunburned and, you know, dehydrated, but, you know, just let that sunlight recoup, heal your muscles, revitalize you. At the same time, make sure you're drinking other waters. That way you stay hydrated. So that's today's message of the day, the tarot card of the day from the Wildwood Tarot deck, that's Sun of Life. You know, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. You know, because, you know, the sun is out there, and then the moon comes up, right? And then the sun comes out and the moon comes up. Enjoy the sun while you can. Enjoy the moon when you can if it's a clear night, too, and it's warm enough. Because the moon's got its own special aspects, and we'll talk about that here in a couple days. But, you know, get out there, open up your arms, and soak in some sunlight if you can. Let it energize you. Let it, you know, revitalize you. Let it recharge your batteries. So this is D for the Spirit's Path. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and leave your comments down below. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.